Hey everyone, long time, no chat. I have been sick since like the middle of December. Today is New Year's Eve, so I'm going to do a chit chat, get ready with me video, and then I'm going to film the New Year's resolution tag. I think that's what it's called, but it's tag. And I'll probably put that one up first, just so I can get it up before the New Year's. But anyway, this is the first time that I have filmed in a couple weeks because I have been sick, like just ridiculous. I had planned a baby shower for a friend, and that was just like stressful in a few different ways. Just that, like, I would rather be the person that's told what to do, like at a party, like somebody else plan it and then just like tell me to execute it, but like being the person that's doing all the talking and all that, like I have a hard time with that. And then the day before, my friend that is pregnant, she was not feeling well and she started having contractions, and so I was like, you know, we can postpone it, like just rest and take care of yourself. And she was like, no, I don't want to miss the party. So I waited to like prepare all the food and like go buy the food and all that, because, you know, I didn't want to go buy all the food and then if we end up having to postpone. Anyway, so the next morning around like 9 or something, she let me know that the party was still going to be on. So party was at 1, so I went and ran around with my head chopped off, getting everything ready, and it turned out it went pretty well. It was mostly French women, which was, it's really cool, but at the same time I was really kind of intimidated. So it worked out. Like I was just kind of intimidated, like, what if I'm not as like sophisticated and cool or whatever? And sorry, my face, you guys, has been a wreck. Like I've been breaking out, and I'm still kind of like coughy and stuffy. I also got a cold sore. I hope that doesn't gross you out. Like the other part of why I haven't filmed is because I got a cold sore as well. And like, honestly, I would rather have a big, huge pimple on my face than have a cold sore. Like, and I haven't had one in years. I used to get them a lot as a kid, and then they just kind of stopped happening. And then, I don't know. I think like maybe coupled with like the stress and being sick, I got it, but it just, I don't know. So I apologize, and if you're too grossed out to watch this video, I understand, but that's what is going on over here. It's pretty much gone, but the skin is still like really tender and red, and so I put my lip gloss on, so hopefully it's not as noticeable, but whatever. I kept feeling, I was like, I'm a leper, like I just felt so gross. So but yeah, like the rest of my skin like has been breaking out. And there's 2 new products that I've been trying, and that is the Josie Marin 100% argan oil, and then I also started using the Acure like face scrub. And so I'm not sure if one of those is breaking me out or if it's just, like I said, the combination of other things that's making me break out, but my skin is just horrific. So I just had to get that out of the way. And so hopefully I can figure out like what is going on. Or it could be I'm using the Josie Marin Argan Matchmaker Serum Foundation. So it could be that. So there's three new products. So anyways, the party went, it was great. I used my Silhouette Cameo for the first time, and I've had that thing for like 2 years, and I was so intimidated by it that I never used it. And a friend of mine, via Google Chat, walked me through the process of making raindrops. And if I remember, or if it fits, I might show some pictures of just kind of like how that came out. But it was a lot of fun, and we made, we decorated onesies and just did, you know, some girly chit-chatty stuff. But then the next day, so that was a Saturday. Oh, and then that night we had a Christmas party to go to. And it was the first time I ever left Winnie with an official babysitter. Anytime someone's watched her, it's either been like a really like family or a really close and trusted friend. And so it was our first not only babysitter but a teenage babysitter, and I was just like I couldn't believe like how stressed out I was about it, because I'm pretty laid back, but I was pretty stressed. And I think the other part too was I feel like my home needs to be perfect. Oh, and my eyes are like all red. So yeah, I've got some issues going on. Oh, and so I feel like my house, so what I was saying was I feel like my house needs to be like perfect and spick and span. And so then I'm like, oh, the house. And the other kicker is the girl is our landlord's daughter, and they live next door. They used to live in this house. So she grew up in this house. So then I was just kind of like, it's got to be weird to like see someone else living in your, I don't know. So anyways, she came over. She was very nice. They have 4 daughters, and they all are very like sweet and respectful and like well-rounded kids. And so obviously like I wouldn't have left Winnie if I didn't trust her. It was still just kind of like a scary experience, but we were just going to be around the corner, literally like around the corner, less than a mile away. So that felt good. That way I knew like if I needed to, I would be home lickety split. So we did that. That was a lot of fun. We did like the gift exchange where you can steal people's gifts. Like it can only be stolen 3 times, but you pick numbers, and then like if you get number 1, that's like the best number to get, because you can steal someone's gift at the end of the game. So you get to see everyone's gift and then pick your favorite, as long as it hasn't been stolen the max amount of times. But then like as you know how you play that game. So we did that. The funny thing is I don't know why, but when we got to their house, my phone drained battery very, very quickly. So my phone died. The girl had my husband's phone number, but I was kind of panicking, like, will she call him? Will she text him? And etc. So it was fine. We only stayed for like 2 hours. So we got home at a reasonable time, and she was a big girl. But then when I got home and I checked on her, she had a fever. So she wasn't feeling well, and the next day we went out to, she was fine the next day. She didn't have a fever the next day, and we went to breakfast with my in-laws, and they wanted to keep her overnight, and I was like, yes, like that was a nice surprise for us, because The Hobbit came out and we really wanted to see it. So since they were taking her, we decided to go see The Hobbit. And a little bit before we went to go see the movie, I could tell that like I was getting that tickle in my throat, that not good tickle in your mouth. Like when I'm sick, my mouth feels dirty no matter what. Like I could brush my teeth for 20 minutes and then 5 minutes later my mouth feels gross. Do you know what I'm talking about? And my mouth started to feel that way. And so I could tell that it was not going well. So I took some like vitamin C and started drinking a lot of water. I had throat lozenges, and but it just like my nose started to run. We get to the movies, and like the whole time I was just kind of like, you know, like feeling really lethargic, and I was just like, oh man, this is a bummer. Like I hope that I'm not getting really sick. And so we watched the movie, and I had to pee like 15 minutes into the movie. I tried to go to the bathroom before the movie started. I did not have to go. But like 15 minutes into the movie, I have to go to the bathroom, and I held it the whole time because I was like, I don't want to miss a thing. I don't want to miss a thing. So I held it, and that was interesting because at the same time, like, I'm trying to pay attention to the movie, and at the same time, I'm like, I have to go to the bathroom. But the movie was good. I'd have to rewatch the first one and watch the second right after. I think first impression was I liked the first one better. I didn't dislike this one. I feel like I liked the first one better. So, but it was still good. Glad we got out to see it. Watery eyes every time. And the next morning I woke up and I was really sick. I was so bummed because that day too, oh, watery eyes. I don't think my eyes are ever going to get used to like having things on them. They just eject all the time. So the next Monday, or yeah, the next day, Monday, Winnie had her first, I think I put way too much on, her first Christmas performance at the preschool. And I was so excited because we've been practicing the song for weeks and she knew all the words and I was so happy, but I felt like ick. I forgot to take my nice camera, so I only had my phone and there wasn't any like seats at the front, so I was at the back trying to like zoom in. It was really funny because even though she knew the words to the songs, most of the time she was like spinning in circles. She wanted to move like into different spots. She was lifting her dress up, she started picking her nose at one point, and she was like shaking her head so much that her bow fell out. So like she's like, my bow, and my mother-in-law was there and she was like closer to the front and she picked up the bow and put it back in her hair to get her to shh. I was like, oh my gosh, my child is a character. She's wild. I don't know. It was entertaining, but I just felt bad that I wasn't feeling well. And so after the performance, there was like cookies and stuff. You go sit in like the big room and all the other family members are there and you can have cookies, and the kids were running around like crazy and I was just like slowly just like fading away into oblivion. I just did not feel good and I just got sicker and sicker and sicker, and yeah, so that was that whole week, which was a bummer. And Winnie got sick like on Tuesday or Wednesday, and then my husband got sick Thursday, so all of us were sick. And so all like the last minute stuff that I wanted to get done for Christmas, I wasn't getting done because I just was not capable of doing anything. And Danielle is such a good friend. She came over, Danielle LaPook, she was going back to California for Christmas, and I had hoped to get to see her before she left, but I was really sick, but she asked if she could come by anyway. She wanted to drop off a little something for Winnie, and I'm like in my pajamas, my hair's up in a towel, and I thought it was pretty funny. I'm like, we have reached a new level of friendship here because I look like crazy town. So I got to see her, I think that was Thursday or maybe it was Wednesday. I don't remember now. So that weekend, what happened? Oh, so we had Christmas Eve. Oh, so over the weekend, was it Sunday? My friend Cynthia and I had plans. We were going to take the girls to the downtown part of our little town. Like right by my house there's a cute like little old school area street, and last year we took them down there, and there's a shop that always has its lights on, but it's so beautiful and it has chairs out front, and then there's a coffee shop, and we went to the coffee shop, we got hot cocoa and sat down in front of the shop and just enjoyed like the Christmassy look of the season. And so that was our plan this year, and we wanted to make it a tradition. Well, it had been sprinkling, so we decided to drive even though it was just around the corner, and just in case. And it was a good thing we did, because as soon as we got there, it started to like downpour really bad, and the store with all the lights had its lights off, which it never does, and the coffee shop was closed. And we're like, oh, well, that's a bummer. So then she ran up the street like literally, because it's just one street, to see if this other shop was open. And they were closing, and the guy's like, but I'll be here till 8:30 if you guys want to come, like, sit in here. And I was just like, no, that's weird. I don't want to be like that person. I don't know. And then he'd be listening to our conversation. That's just... So I invited them back to my house, and I made hot cocoa, and Tangled was on the Disney Channel. So I put Tangled on for the girls, and then Cynthia and I chit-chatted. So it was funny. Like, we made the best out of it. But that's when my cold sore started. And it's just so crazy how they come on, because like the night before, like there was nothing. Like, I had no idea, and I woke up and there it was, and I was so upset about it. But so then the rest of the week I kind of hid away from everyone because I felt so gross. And but we had to go to my in-laws for Christmas Eve, and then we were going to church for the Christmas Eve service. And I didn't, like, I was torn on going. Like, I really wanted to go, but on the same token, I didn't, because I didn't, like, I just felt so icky. And so we decided to go, and it just, like, I love being able to, like, worship and sing about Jesus and just, like, have that time as a family. But Winnie was just being crazy, and like one of her friends came to sit with us, and that just kind of like sent her over the edge, I think. And she went wild. So I ended up taking her out of the service and telling her like why I took her out of the service, and told her like, you can't behave that way, that, you know, it's not acceptable. And she's been talking back lately, and she started to talk back, and so I took her to an even more like remote part of the church and sat her down and told her she was in timeout. And you know what she says to me? I don't love you, Mama. Yeah, I thought that wasn't going to come until the teen years, and I don't even know like where she learned, like who, what, I don't even know. But I was pretty upset. And then she said it to me again, and she was like, you know, and she said why, like because I took her, you know, away from her friend or whatever. So I sat down and I said, how would you feel if Mommy told you that she didn't love you because of the way that you were behaving? And she was like, it would hurt my feelings. And I'm like, and so don't you think that you hurt Mommy's feelings? You know, and she just kind of sat there, and I said, Mommy's love for you is unconditional, no matter what, even when you're not behaving well. And it really hurts me that you would tell me that you don't love me. And so I was like, you know, and I remained as calm as I could. But as soon as the service ended, I took her, I walked into the service, or where my husband and family were sitting, and I just told my husband, I'm like, let's go, we're leaving. So we didn't stay and like socialize or anything. We just went home, and you know, when he found out what happened, he was upset too, and he talked to her about it, and she ended up apologizing. But it was just I don't know, I couldn't believe that. Like, ugh. I know that they're children, so it's like she doesn't mean it, but I just wasn't expecting it at this age. Like, I thought that it would come a lot later in life, and I had hoped it would happen never, but you know, that's what happens. And she just, you know, she's really been in rare form lately, and so she went to bed and we relaxed, and Christmas we woke up. And that was fun because it's her fur. It was like, we haven't decided how we're going to do the whole like Santa thing, because we, like, our belief is we're celebrating Jesus's birth. And I grew up like, you know, in Santa. My house, we didn't my house wasn't religious, so like I wasn't, you know, they put all the emphasis on Santa, and they would use Santa as like a form of manipulation, you know, like, oh, well, if you're bad, Santa's not going to come. And I haven't done that. I haven't talked about Santa yet, and she's just so young. The first 2 years, we took her to see Santa, and he freaked her out. This year we didn't go, I think mostly because time literally flew by. December just flew by like crazy, because the first 2 weeks, or the first couple weeks of December, I was like all about planning the baby shower, and I was like, okay, well, once I get done with the baby shower stuff, I can focus on other things. And then as soon as, like the day after the baby shower, I got really sick. So that is so we didn't do all that, and I still haven't figured out how we're going to handle it completely. But on Christmas, like, she actually got really excited to open gifts, where last year she would open a gift and then just want to play with that gift, and you had to really force her to open the other gifts. And this year she was like, oh, this one's for me, this one's for me, this one's for me. And we, you know, had to stop her and say, look, you know, you can't be selfish, and you know, we need to be very grateful for the gifts that we get. And we had only bought her, like, so somebody had told me that it was that they do, like, they buy their kids 3 gifts. Something that they want, something that they need, and something that will help their spiritual growth. And I thought that was a really good idea. And just this year, like, I didn't align that. I wasn't sure, like, I was a procrastinator. So we did get her, like, a couple things, nothing like super huge. We got her a Goldie Block set, which I think is really cool. And I might do a video maybe showing a couple of like favorites for her. And then we got her a little crib for her baby doll, because she didn't play with her baby doll for a really long time. And then now she's starting to play with it a little bit. And I thought, oh, well, if she has like a crib for her baby, she might be more apt. And it's really cute. She like tucks her baby in. And then, oh, is it sad that I can't remember? Oh, I got her the movie Brave when it was like $10 on Amazon Lightning Sale. So, and then like other family members got her some gifts. And so that was fun. It was a little, like, I'm used to having a lot of people around for Christmas. Living with my grandparents, like, they would be there. My dad and my grandpa would come over, and my mom was there, and my brother was there. And we would all open gifts as a family, and then other family would come over, like a ton of people, my aunts, my uncles, my cousins. And now I'm out here, my grandparents have passed, and it was just me, my husband, and Winnie. And last year my dad came out, so I at least had my dad, but my in-laws didn't want to come over in the morning. My in-laws didn't want to come over in the morning, which I was kind of like bummed about. And then, but it was fine. They came over in the afternoon, and then they left kind of early, which I was hoping that everyone would stay. We'd play games and things like that. But my mother-in-law had to fly out on Thursday because we got some bad news that my husband's aunt has stage 4 cancer. And that was another blow in December, was just getting like, was all of that happening. And so she went to see her. And my French friend, her husband and her kids came over. And so that was fun, like, to share that with them and talk about like the differences in the way that they celebrate here versus there. And she made a really yummy potato dish. It was so good. We ate it for like 3 days after Christmas because it was just so delicious. So yeah, that all went well. And just after Christmas, it was kind of like recovery mode and still trying to get over like the sniffles and the cough. All that being said, like around the holidays, even though Christmas is my favorite holiday of the year, I also get really depressed around Christmas because the people that I love are gone, and like the people that I love that are alive live in California, and I want to be back home. Like, California is my home, and like there's this big, like, my heart hurts that I'm not there, but at the same time I know that right now this is what's best for our family. And so I just get really sad and sentimental. And when I was putting up the Christmas tree and I was putting up like the ornaments that used to belong to my grandma, I was just like sniffling and like putting them up. And yeah, I just get emotional because like all my traditions are back home, and then I tried to like kind of pull those things into my life here, and it's not working out the way that I had hoped, and that, you know, that's kind of disappointing. I don't know, I just kind of wanted to create the same kind of atmosphere that I grew up with, and I can't force people to like want those same things, so I kind of, it's like I have to accept that, but at the same time it makes me sad, I guess. But at the same time really grateful too. Like I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful that like that Christ loves me and loves all of us, and I'm very grateful that I have a home, and that something as simple as a shower is a luxury. Like I think we like that's something that we take for granted. We get to shower every day, and there's so many people that don't. And I'm like, man, like I'm super, super, super grateful. So I don't like, even though I get sad, like at the same time, I'm very, very grateful for the things that I have. So I hope you guys are all doing well. I hope you had a great Christmas. Please let me know what you did for Christmas or what you did like over the month of December. And I'd love to catch up with you. And I hope you all are happy, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye.